Hi guys, I'm Chris Hughes, dietitian and founder of MEALZEE. This video is just about trying to get you set up as quickly as possible so you can start creating meal plans or adding recipes to MEALZEE. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so this is a dietitian login. Okay, so first things first is you can upload your logo and your hex code brand color. Now, if you don't know what your hex code is, there will be a little message pop up there, but there is a million websites where you can actually find it. But the message pop up will have one website you can go to. It's called imagecolor.com. Upload your logo, click on the parts of your logo, and it'll give you the hex code for those colors. And then you just add the hex code there with the little pound symbol. Now, I'll quickly run through some of the steps before we get into creating a meal plan. We've created the marketplace. Now, the purpose of this is to basically try and save time. So you might be able to come in here, grab a meal plan that someone's already created, and then you can make a few little changes from that. You'll be able to see whether a dietitian created or whether it's a health and fitness professional like a personal trainer, for example. So in this one here, we've got Emma, who's a dietitian, and she's created a 2200 calorie muscle gain meal plan. I can click on this. It'll give me a bit more of the nutrition information on it. Or sorry, I'll move that into my profile. Some of the nutrition information will have there. It will have sort of tags in there, but we're also going to add an image so you can get a bit of a summary of what it is. But I've added that to my profile, and if I click over here, there it is there. So I can see the meal plan. This is free, it doesn't cost you anything, but it's just designed to save you a bit of time. If you want to change the name, you can do so here. And you can also edit all the meals. You can even go back in and change the meal pattern, how many snacks, etc. But again, it's just a time saver. You can also add your own meal plans to the marketplace. The only thing that we're asking is that you don't put a client's name. So if you've created a meal plan for John Brown, then don't call it John Brown, call it low format 1500 calories or something to that effect. The profile, guys, this is where you can change all your details, update your passwords, whatever you'd like to do. You can switch between kilojoules and calories here. And something I strongly encourage is that you put your social media handles in there. And then when you download the meal plans, which I'll show you in a moment, there's little icons that are hyperlinked. So if your clients click on the Facebook icon, it will open your Facebook page. Now, we are in the process of adding a calendar link here. So you may want to add your booking link so clients can click on that and book an appointment with you as well. The subscription page is here. Basically, we've got 3 levels of subscription. So it's $9 a week will get you 1 download credit. So you can do everything within MEALZEE without credits except what downloading a meal plan and recipes. Okay, so you need the credits to actually download the meal plan. But on the $9 a week, you can do 1 meal plan a week that you can download. Now you can store up to 20. So that means you can create 20 meal plans. They can be sitting in your profile, but it's only the credits that you get charged for when you actually download it. The next level is $19 a week. That's 4 downloads a week and 100 meal plans that you can store, and then $29 a week is unlimited. Okay, and then we're going to jump to the meal plan tab. Now, to create a meal plan, we can go to this is if we're not using one from the marketplace. You can go to the Add New button. I'll call this Test, Add, and then we need to go into the energy calculator first. Okay, so hit energy calculator because the software needs to know how many calories to aim for and then go and find the recipes that fit those calories. Okay, so I'm just going to call this test. Let's say this person's 45 years old, they're male, their primary goal might be to lose weight. Let's say they're 180 centimeters tall, they might be 120 kilograms. And they might be relatively active because they just started out in the gym. Now, the description will be there on what active is or low active or very active. Now, you hit continue, and that will give you an energy target to aim for. Now, of course, as dietitians, you can override this down here. You can override these targets. Now, this is a weight loss target for someone of this size, okay? If I was to see what the energy equation predicts for a maintenance weight, it's about 2,600 calories or 11,000 kilojoules. Now, this is the Mifflin St. George predictive equation, validated predictive equation that we've used. But like I said, you can override it, okay? So if I go to weight loss, that then just shaves off a component. We've tried to keep it within 2,000 to 4,000 kilojoules or 500 to 1,000 calories. And then you've got to pick the meal pattern. So basically the meal plan is going to, and I'm going to override it to 1,800 calories just for the sake of this. I've then put in, if I put in no snacks, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 1,800 calories is the target, then basically the way the algorithm works is that it's going to try and find a breakfast that's around 600 calories, a lunch that's 600 calories, and a dinner that's 600 calories. And it does that within a reasonably tight range of 15%. Now it's important to know that, and I'll come back to that in a moment, okay? So I'll just hit update. All right, now from here, okay, I've got these serve sizes down, serve quantities down the side. So for example, if I'm creating a meal plan for myself, I've got 4 kids, my wife and I, so we might have 6 serves at dinner. So that means all the recipe cards across the week, we're going to have 6 serves. But I tend to get breakfast just for my wife and I, so there's 2, and lunch might be 2, okay? Now I can still change these individually, which I'll show you in a moment. The next step is to go to the meal tags. Now, if you want to select them, you don't have to, but these are more the lifestyle related tags. So is the person a vegan or pescatarian, or they just want simple recipes, which is basically not a lot of ingredients and not a lot of steps. So I'll just hit simple for that. Nutrition tags, let's say, let's go high protein. Now we've got a limit of 2 each of these, okay? Now we've done that because we've got 1,300 published recipes in there. There's another 1,000 in the pending status as I speak at the moment. That will improve in the very near future, but we've got a limit of 2 of each, because the more tags that we put, so the more filters, if you like, the narrower the recipe range gets, and you'll sort of see that in a moment. And then you can exclude ingredients. So if there's dislikes or allergies or intolerances, you can type that in there. So you just type one word and press enter. The key to know here is that you are dealing with the computer. So if you type in the word nuts, it won't exclude cashews because the word nuts is not in the word cashews. So in that instance, you would actually have to filter for nut-free, and that will then get rid of all of the cashews, walnuts, and everything, okay? So it's understanding how these things work, where eventually you'll be able to get the most out of it. Now, once you've done that, all you need to do is hit auto generate. So I'm just going to hit auto generate, and that's going to spin up a meal plan for us. Now that is done if you're happy with that plan and you want to give someone where there's basically a different option every single day. Okay, so there's a different option every day. And if it's a client that just needs to see different options, you can do that. If you want to edit, we've got a drag and drop feature. Okay, so for example, with this simple slaw with chicken, I might want to take leftovers the next day. So it's going to take one of these 6 serves and it's going to move it to breakfast the next, to lunch the next day, sorry. So you can see here the little MP box presents. Now that stands for meal prepped. If I tick that box, it's going to move that one serve and put it back at dinner the night before. So if I tick that box, that then goes to 0, okay? And this one is now 6 serves. So that then reflects on this card that there'll be 6, or the ingredients for 6 serves. The shopping list has 6 serves, whereas this one, there's 0 ingredients and the shopping list isn't added to. Now, in this instance, what I would do, because I'd need that for my wife and I, and I'd really have to then manually just add some to factor in that we're taking leftovers the next day. But you get the point of what you can do. Now, for something like a smoothie, for example, let's say you want to have that every day of the week, through the week, then you can drag and drop. And in this instance, if you're making it fresh every day, you just don't hit the MP box. You leave it unchecked, and that there, puts it there every day. Now, if there's something you want to get rid of completely, just X out of that, and then we go and find a replacement. Okay, so here is where you can see how many recipes are actually available. So if I hit load more, so what this is telling me, okay, is that there's 37 recipes, if you can see that down the bottom. There's 37 recipes that are both simple and high protein and within that 600 calorie range. Okay, if I was to add low carb, I'm now down to 15. If I add low GI, I'm now down to 11. And so you can see what happens the more filters that we add. I'm just going to uncheck them for a moment. And keep in mind, this is within that calorie range. So I know that all of my lunches are going to be hovering around 600 calories. If I want to go slightly outside that and have a look at all the available recipes, I tick the show all recipes, hit confirm. And now if I load more here and I keep hitting it, it'll tell me how many recipes I've got. So I've got 131 recipes that are high protein and low and simple. Okay, so that just gives you an insight into how that algorithm's working in the background, and it'll allow you just to potentially include more options into the meal plan. Particularly for snacks, you might not see any fruit, but you've got a high protein tag selected. If you've got the high protein tag selected, it may be missing a lot of the fruit because it's not that high in protein. And if I wanted to select it, all I need to do is hit select, and that will put that meal there. So I won't go and edit a full meal plan, but you'll get the idea of this, and it'll be after you play with it for a little while. The other little feature to show is the lock and unlock feature. So as soon as I've dragged and dropped, they become unlocked, okay? Or if I edit, they become unlocked. But the purpose of these locks is for sort of faster editing, if you like. So let's say I'm looking at the macros. Now, we can't feed macros in, but we can manipulate macros if that's what you wanted to do. And let's say I wanted higher protein and lower fat. So I'll pick the days that are highest in fat. So let's say I've got Saturday, and I'm just going to pick on Wednesday. So I'm going to unlock Saturday. I'm going to unlock Wednesday. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I'm going to add a low fat tag, and then I'm hitting auto generate. Now, because every other day is locked, it's only going to replace the meals on those days, on Wednesday and Saturday. And now we've gone from 49% fat. So one of those days, Saturday was 138 grams of fat. The other one was 109 or something. So you can see I've made some pretty big changes. If I also then done Thursday and Tuesday, it'd shift those macros and push the higher protein level up. So there's just ways that you can manipulate it. You can also do that if you're working with athletes, for example, and you've got an athlete that has a rest day versus a load day. You might want to change the amount of calories they've got on one day, and that's simply a matter of coming back in here, hitting update, and it's only going to change the day that you've unlocked. So I just hit auto generate again, and then that will then spin up Sunday, and then it'll be hovering around the 1,500 calories on Sunday. So once you've played with the plan and you're happy with it, from there you can basically download it, okay? So you download the shopping list. Now, you can edit the shopping list, but this feature is built for when we've got the portal. We're going to build a portal where you send your clients to, and they can then edit the shopping list because there might be parts that they don't need. So they might have lime juice, or they might not need that bacon, and they can edit that. For you probably just hit the download shopping list, and that will download the shopping list. And it will look like that, but it'll have your logo, your brand colors on it. You can also download the recipe cards. So I'll do that last because it takes about a minute to do, because it's creating 20 odd PDFs brand new with your logo and brand color on it. But then to download the meal plan, this is where the credit is used. Okay, so we hit confirm download, uses your credit, and then the meal plan will look like this. Okay, so again, it'll be your logo, your brand colors on it. All of these recipes are actually hyperlinked. So if your client just clicks on the recipe, it will download the recipe card. And the recipe card looks like this. Now you can see the recipe card doesn't have any reference to the dietitian that created it. Okay. However, when you look at it here, you'll be able to see who created it. You can report a recipe. So you might have found something that was a bit odd with the recipe. You hit report, I can fix it immediately. You can rate the recipe, you can leave a comment, hit save, and that's what you can see, but your client doesn't see all of that. And then the last thing with the meal plan is these little hyperlinks. So this is what I was talking about in the profile. Make sure that you've put your social media handles in there, and it will open up all of your social media handles. And then, like I said, we are going to add a calendar link there where your clients can book on that, hit on that, and they'll be able to actually book an appointment with you. So you might use it as a lead magnet, for example. The last thing, just quickly, guys, is you can hide the energy. So if you don't want your clients to see anything of any of the nutrition information, just click that, toggle that off. Toggle that on, and that's going to hide the nutrition panel and the meal plan and all the recipe card, so they won't be able to see any of that. Turn that back on. And the last thing that I'm not going to go through is that you can add foods. Okay, we then approve them. All of the nutrition information you put in will be per 100 grams, but I will confirm it before we approve it. We're trying to keep all the commercial foods out of there as best we can. Our purpose for that is that we're trying to make it generic so that these products can be purchased anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. And then the last thing is actually adding a recipe. So you can add your own recipes to MEALZEE, and every time those recipes are selected in the meal plan, you're going to earn revenue from it. Now that's a whole nother discussion. It's a whole nother webinar, but just remember that, put as many recipes as you can in there. The more popular they are, the more selected they get in meal plans, the more money you will earn. All right, guys, that's me. If you have any questions, I'm going to put a booking link at the back of this where you can actually book a personal demo with me, and we'll jump on and I can answer any questions or help get you set up as well. Thanks.